also just say our Tottenham Hotspur, Isaac, and we're not going to spend much time today, but
we can spend all the time we want.
Yes. And
listen.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah. I was just about to say 4-0 against Burnley. 4 goals against Burnley. That's very impressive.
That's not a Jose scoreline either. That is.
No. No. It's a Gareth Bale scoreline.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm pretty sure last week I said you want to get out on the front foot, get early in these types of games. I put West Ham and Burnley kind of in the same category of just like, I mean, clearly West Ham doesn't suck, but they should be a mid-table team. They're not, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, Aaron, you told me I have the wrong coach. And Isaac, you told me Gareth Bale, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Gareth Bale came in, and I believe it was 63 seconds. He scored that first goal.
Yeah.
So I had a whole thing. I texted you today. I was like, I have 20 minutes on Gareth Bale and Lamela. I'm not going to do that to all you people out there. But I will say this is a good sign because at the beginning of I feel like Burnley, and I don't know, it's only been a few years of paying attention, but the first game against Burnley, yes, Isaac, to get 4 goals would be big. But it feels like in the second half of the season, because remember, when Son had that goal, that full field goal, that was the second Burnley game. It feels like the second, Burnley's one of those teams when you play twice, the second time through, they become a little bit of a doormat. So yes, this season, Burnley's been playing really well, and I want to give Spurs credit, but this also just made me think, oh, right, you're Burnley. That's who you are.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say Burnley's been playing really well. They are still generally poor, but they're known for packing it 11 inside a 30-yard box, and for a Mourinho squad of all teams to put 4 up. Again, Bale, I mean, he showed flashes. And I'm struggling with whether or not Jose should get any credit for this. Because I'm thinking, all right, so he goes in, he subs Bale in second half of the West Ham game like he's been doing all season. Bale is actually effective for the first time. Then Bale has a great midweek Europa. So it seems like Mourinho, maybe it was a plan, like, okay, he's getting back in his form, we'll roll him out slowly, and then plan to start him against Burnley. So maybe it's good on Mourinho, or maybe it's just Mourinho being like, screw it, we'll put in Bale, see what happens. Yeah.
When in doubt, no credit to Jose.
I know. That's what I'm trying. Yeah.
So I think, it looks like kind of a master stroke from Jose that like Dele Alli had a great Europa League week as well, and then you see Gareth Bale scoring 2 goals today. But then I think back to like when he would bring in Luke Shaw from the cold, and then Luke Shaw would have a great game, but then before the next game he would talk about how he was actually telling Luke Shaw everything that he had to do from the sideline. So there's always like that angle that he has that in some way this is going to come back to, well, I was doing this and that caused Gareth Bale to score these 2 goals. So
right,
I would
which would be ironic. Because he did say last week that there's nothing he can do as a coach.
Yes.
So, but I agree that now he'll come out and be like, yeah, I had a dream and I made it happen.
So basically, I'm just saying that this roller coaster isn't over. And
thank you.
Just to keep your emotions in check, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it was a reaction to just how ineffective they were at the beginning of the West Ham game, and you just knew. Yeah. That you couldn't roll out the same squad from the West Ham game because they didn't get it done. And so what were some of the changes? Aurier was now healthy. Pretty much everyone else was the same except for Bale. So that right side.
I like putting Lucas in the attacking center mid and having Ndombele and Højbjerg sitting. Because Ndombele, even though we like to see him in more advanced positions, he is able to control the game a little bit better and find those creative passes when they don't really have that many creative midfielders. So it was an interesting setup, and I love, of course, seeing anytime you can get Lucas and Son and Kane and I guess Bale on the field at the same time is good.
And Ndombele is quickly becoming one of my favorite players to watch in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's amazing.
His ability to hold on to the ball and like tough scenarios, and just his balance of movement is unbelievable.
It's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's
those
just fun
shoulder
to watch.
dips.
He plays like he's playing like just kind of in a pickup game, and not really much of a care in the world, and he just kind of goes about his business.
Especially this season, he So, but we will move on from the Spurs because I keep wanting to bring things up.